So last week, Liz Gunn was found guilty in a New Zealand court of assault. But wait till you see what this alleged assault was. Now, you may have already seen it. If you have, and you haven't reached the conclusion that such a guilty verdict is utterly ridiculous, well then please tell me, how would you feel if you were in that position? Because if this is the new standard for assault in this country, well then I want out, to be completely fucking honest with you. So, let's just quickly go over what I think of Liz Gunn, because some people may be under the wrong impression. I am not for a second a fan of Liz Gunn. Haven't been pretty much since I first heard her speak. Now, when it comes to people and orators especially, you often get a vibe as to whether or not you're going to like them. There are some people that speak in a way which just comes off, let's say, somewhat patronizing, or in a way which just gives you the wrong vibe. Now, of course, that is very, very much subjective. Some people listen to Liz Gunn and get the opposite impression. Nonetheless, whenever I hear Liz Gunn speak, I very much don't like it at all. In fact, the less she speaks, the more likely I am to have sympathy for her cause. And to be fair, elements, or actually many elements of what she believes in, I will agree with to some, in some respect. But that aside, regardless of what I think of Liz Gunn in terms of how she orates herself, and regardless of whether Liz Gunn is someone that you view as morally sound or someone who is in the right with what she's been doing in the last few years, what is abundantly clear is that it doesn't matter what someone believes, they should be treated by the law in accordance with what is fair. And as of right now, I don't believe an actual conviction has been handed down. If it has, then that's my bad. But Liz Gunn was found guilty of assault for the following.
Excuse me.
Could you please?
Excuse me. What is the law? What is the law?
Could you please?
If you agree that that is assault, then I can't help you. I really can't help you. The world's lost if we're going to use that as the basis for assault in New Zealand, especially when a certain man by the name of Granny Basher fractured a woman in her 70s eye socket and was discharged without conviction. Sure, they deemed him guilty, but still discharged him without conviction. And so the only just outcome in this situation really is for Liz Gunn to be discharged without conviction. And even then, they should still review the old Granny Basher's case, because that is an absolutely repugnant outcome. But I think this speaks to a large issue within our justice system. I mean, seriously, a number of people who are getting slaps on the wrists, fines for things like sexual assault, the list goes on. It is actually becoming a farce. It's not even, I can't even comprehend how the justice system has fallen to these lengths. But right now, a justice system which I have experience with is making absolutely no sense to me. I've met people for, let's say, fracturing someone's eye socket. I've met people who have been given years in prison for that. Yet Granny Basher gets nothing. He doesn't even get a conviction. Someone who gives someone a very light and precious tap on the side of the arm, essentially, for less than 2 seconds, is found guilty of assault. And the thing that annoys me about the verdict, actually, is that, one, the so-called victim claims that it was a 5 out of 10 on the pain scale, apparently. What I know for a fact is that the victim claimed that it was a sharp pain. Now, I don't know about you, but sharp implies that there was a sharpness to the act. Like, we all know why there's a distinction between sharp and blunt, because blunt feels one way, sharp feels another. This was not something which should be creating a sharp pain, let alone a pain at all. We are talking about open palm, zero grip for less than 2 seconds, placed firmly, but with not much force at all, on the side of a woman's arm. By another woman, I might add. That is assault. Yet the police, who quite frankly didn't have any justification to arrest Liz Gunn at all, actually fractured or did a lot of damage to Liz Gunn's wrist. How about that? And admittedly, Liz Gunn was playing up for the camera, as you would, and I probably would in that situation too, because it's absolutely ridiculous that you would be arrested. For one, actually, the main justification for the trespass, for the arrest, I should say, was that they were allegedly trespassing, which wasn't the case. They weren't even given enough time to be trespassing, and that's why the judge threw out that charge. So no, at the end of the day, the only charge that the judge could even attempt to make a ruling on was the one of assault, in which case the judge was barking mad with his decision with that one too. Ultimately, I don't know how anyone could have any faith in the justice system. I certainly don't have any faith in the justice system. I've had it to some degree in the past, but right now I think the justice system is about as inconsistent as NRL refs. If you know, you know.